welcome back to my channel, and yes, it is day 9 of Happy Horror Queen, so yay! Fun. I don't even know how many days left until Halloween, but I can't wait! But anyways, today's video, well, it's obviously a lot of these videos are different than what I normally do, but I'm going to be reading you guys a Halloween scary story that I wrote, and it's actually on my website, queenofhorror.com. Go check it out. It is called His Final Halloween, and I wrote this a long time ago. I don't know when I wrote it, but it's on my website in the section Tales Trees Out of Hell, where I have a lot of scary stories and poems I wrote myself. So I thought, you know, October, fear, Halloween, what better time to do this than now, or, you know, read a scary story about Halloween. So without further ado, let's get into the video, or let's hear me read the story. Reading this off my computer, but His Final Halloween by Queen of Horror. October is the month of fear. Either you're the feared or you have a lot of fear. For the feared, this month is a lot of fun. For the ones with the fear, this month can just be a living nightmare that lasts for 31 days. I'm going to tell you a story about what happened on a Halloween night a long time ago. It was on a full moon night, the stars shining their brightest, and the air was perfect, a nice cool breeze. There was a little boy about the age of 8 years old. His name was Tom. Tom had brown hair, green eyes, and his skin was a rather fair color. He always loved Halloween. Every year he would dress up as something scary because he enjoyed scaring people, like me. He also got a little bit of extra candy for such creativity in his costumes. Now, this Halloween he decided to dress up as something many people fear. I still don't understand why people fear this. I really don't, personally. Okay. But he dressed as a clown. Don't know why you guys are so afraid of clowns. He didn't just put on a clown costume, however, but he added more to his costume to really give off the fear. He had a red nose like all clowns do, and he spray-dyed his hair red, and his clown costume was even red and yellow, so basic clown costume. However, his face looked nothing like a clown. He put on fangs along with blood that looked as if it was oozing from his mouth. His face was pure white, but tears of blood ran down from his cheeks. All around his eyes he had black, but the one thing that made him look even scarier was the contacts that made his eyes look red. He was truly a terrifying clown. I swear, I hope to God my kids are like this. They want scary costumes. As he went trick-or-treating, many people ran away from him, or did their best to look unafraid. He was truly terrifying, as many people couldn't even recognize Tom. He went from house to house, using an evil voice to say, "Trick-or-treat." Okay, that was a whole fail. And then he would receive his candy. Tom was having a lot of fun with this, getting a lot of candy and placing fear into so many people. However, as much fun as Tom was having running around on his own, he never realized that this Halloween, that's his best, would be his last. The moon was shining bright, and Tom kept running from house to house, collecting candy. He didn't realize that around 10 o'clock, he was 2 neighborhoods away from his own. He realized that he had to get back home, for he didn't want to be punished for causing his parents so much worry. Okay, parents, make sure you are watching your kids trick-or-treating. Go with them, because there are crazy people in this world. Just saying. Okay, let's continue. Just as Tom turned around to walk home, he heard a noise coming from some woods to his right. He looked, and right in front of him he saw a woman. She had black hair, pale skin, and very dark brown eyes. No, we're not talking about me, by the way. Her lips had on red lipstick, and she wore a long-sleeved black dress that went all the way down to her feet. She gave Tom a smile, exposing her pearly white teeth. Tom was intrigued by her, not realizing the horrors about to come. "Hello, little boy," the woman said in a kind voice. "Why are you out so late on Halloween night?" "I was just returning home," Tom said. "I was just getting candy." "Oh, yes," the woman said. "I remember when I was your age how I loved to get candy. I always came home late, but I always had enough candy to last me the whole year." "Wow, that's a lot of candy," Tom said. "Yes, indeed." She looked around. "I have a lot of candy back at my house. Of course, I can never eat it all. It's too much sugar for me. Would you like to come home with me to my house? I can give you as much candy as you please." "That would be great, but I really better be getting home. I don't want to keep my parents waiting." "Oh, come on, my house isn't but 2-minute walk from here. It won't take long at all." Tom began to think, wondering if this was a good idea or not. He didn't want to keep worrying his parents, but if her house wasn't that far, then maybe he could go. "All right," Tom said. "I'll go with you." "Excellent!" Tom ran over to the woman, she grabbed his hand, and they began their walk into the woods. At first, Tom was excited to go to the woman's house, but then he realized that the woman's house wasn't too close like she said it was. They had been walking for a half an hour when they finally got to a small house in the center of the woods. "This is it," the woman said, pointing to the house. Wow, Tom said. You sure do live deep in the woods. Yes, I do. People are mean to me a lot, so I live here, away from everyone. Oh, well that isn't nice. No, it isn't. Now, what's your name, young boy? My name is Tom. Well, Tom, are you ready to get the candy? Yes! Tom shouted excitedly. The woman smiled at him and she brought him into her house. However, before Tom walked in, he looked up at the full moon, not even realizing that this is the last time he would be seeing it. Jeez, this gets depressing. Anyways. Inside the house, there were pentagrams, upside-down crosses, and the number 666 written all over the walls in black. GTFO moment, just saying. In the center of the floor was a giant pentagram. Candles were lit everywhere. Tom thought it looked a little bit creepy, but he thought it was just decoration for Halloween. He didn't even realize that the setup was made for satanic rituals. Okay, this gets weird. The woman led Tom into the kitchen. It was dimly lit, but it looked nothing like the living room. It wasn't scary at all. Would you like something to drink, Tom? The woman asked him. Tom nodded his head, and the woman grabbed a glass and put water in it. Tom didn't even realize what she had slipped into his drink, but drank it as if it was nothing. Then, after a few short minutes, everything began to get blurry, and Tom blacked out. Oh, Lord. When Tom woke up, he was back in the living room, but not the way you're thinking. His arms and legs were tied to posts, and his body was hanging right above the pentagram. He was surrounded by people, all dressed in black. He looked around, and then he saw the woman who brought him here. Evil now filled her eyes. Let the ritual begin, the woman said. Right after she said it, Tom's Halloween costume was ripped off of him, so now he was only in his underwear. No, I'm not making him naked, I hope. Then his costume was thrown into the fireplace. The woman then brought out a whip. With force, she whipped his stomach. The whip was passed around in a circle, each person whipping Tom once, and everyone reciting some sort of chant that wasn't English. Usually it's in Latin or something. Tom screamed in pain, but that didn't stop them from whipping him. After what felt like endless pain, it suddenly stopped. Everyone walked away from the circle. Tom, barely conscious, looked around the room to see a clock. The time was 11:58. Everyone returned, each person a stake in hand. Once the time hit 11:59, the woman began to say a chant. Okay, there's still more on this next part. I think it's in Latin, because normally I think when they recite satanic rituals and stuff, they're in Latin. I'm not going to recite that because I don't know what I put, and I don't know if it's going to cause anything terrible to happen. This is very messed up, and I'm getting depressed reading this. I don't know why I wrote this, but keep your kids safe. There's a lesson. Let's just finish up. After the woman saying these words, the clock struck at exactly midnight, and the woman took her stake and stabbed it directly into Tom's heart. He let out a hurling scream, and then 12 more stakes were pierced into his body. Once the last stake went into his body, he died. Oh my god, that's horrible. His body was never found and is still searched for to this day. Now you know Tom's story about his terrifying Halloween. We still search for his body, but many believe either the Satanist ate what was left of him, or they simply burned all that remained. I want to quickly say, Satanists, I'm not saying like all of them are cannibals. I mean, some do that in the rituals, but they're not all cannibals. Just want to put that out there. Anyways, we'll never know the truth, just the story. This is where you decide what you think happened after his death. October is the time of year for fear, but it's also the time of year when Satan is the strongest. All I say is be careful and have a happy Halloween. Well, that was very interesting. I don't know. The sad part is I wrote this. I can't even, critique it like someone else wrote this and be like, oh, this person's messed up in the head because I wrote this. That was really messed up reading it. That's actually very depressing. The lesson to this story I know I wanted to make was please watch your kids on Halloween. That was definitely one lesson. And also, like I said in my Ouija talk earlier on, about using it on Halloween, yes, Satan and just evil spirits as a whole are at their strongest on Halloween night, so be careful. And also I think I made this thing because Halloween is the devil's birthday, so that's kind of why I made this, or I think that's why I did make this story, just to show be very careful, because I mean that is a legitimate day where people will do satanic rituals, so it's kind of one of those be careful stories. That was very messed up. I'm sorry, I'm a bit traumatized by this. Please don't hate on me for this story. I do apologize if it offended anyone, because I know I just murdered a little boy. I mean, that's what happens in horror films. I don't know, I'm traumatized. I traumatized myself. But anyways, if you enjoyed this story somehow, then you're just as crazy as I am. I'm just gonna give this video a thumbs up. That would help out a lot. Also, leave a comment down below telling me what you thought of this story. you know? Subscribe. I'm making new videos every single day this month, and you're not going to want to miss any. Definitely not going to want to miss any. Maybe this one you would have liked to have missed. Check out my Instagram at HorrorLover13. I am posting every single day on there for a special effects challenge. Check out this story on my website, queenofhorror.com, where I post everything horror, some things more horrifying than others. I do have this on my section, Tales Raised Out of Hell, where I write a bunch of really messed up things. So I'll link that down below, and also I will link down below Happy Horror Queen on my website. But that is pretty much it, so until tomorrow, bye guys! And remember, watch your kids on Halloween. No, oh, well that, but always say goodbye.